shoes, Danube. Placing out the ankle still, peshed sight widening, search of history upon the limbs of you, teetering eye out of spectator's consciousness. All liquid erasure, clocks, economies of empire, colour negative truth. Second unreal glazed heart that the poem weak to catch, cinematic and freeze near tears before we know who, where youths were taken from. Love, necessity, Antifa, and the valley of all boots here, 1944 to 14 to prehistory, our stomachs curl with relay televisual, another Palestinian house collapsed, continued the long 20th century. My eye slide and accumulate laid across generations, we are retelling to days of us, arms as a case wrapped quiet, till we instigate politics, clocks, echo outcomes of universe, bronze on negative, 35mm, all liquid erasure, clocks, economies of poverty, relation and future wealth, abolition, all liquid erasure, clocks, its frail coherences, grasped for preservation, memory ground out, churning emotives, what we can gain in space and archive, amnesiac, quotidian and demolition. Left to dream, by company of friends had the myriad slow-stepping, inconstelling articulates held ourselves through parties, fictional punk bands, fictional talk. 2, 3, 4, 5. Clock, way or implements for writing. You give a provision for lines. Let's home and owing for raw over credit for the provision of health, the thread against non-visible skins. Low paid. There were riots in, separations in the name, felt violence. Between sides of earth, all of bridges, horizontally and bridges, recovered Scotland is nowhere hands can enforce thought through to dailiness, where we feed our lovers and wages. Wind drilling. Vertigo carves our and eyes framed to dimming light. Fingers graze the glass and hinges concave, grey quad curve Gratian jet hole in digger echoes. Vertigo carves our nervy corridors for previous decades by which we tried to speak. Fingers graze the glass between flagstone and deviants. Inhabits wavelengths for crowd, cheering dreams through isolations of holes, while you witness edges bright, so few heads, yeah, for yeah. Full lunar gravitations, in sleep the lines vacate. To keep grasp of the beauty in it, sustaining the knowledge in its sadness, what erased, diminished as the mark of youth draws us out of its generation. Full lunar gravitation, it's by your beauty, the lines grows outside forecast. Full lunar gravitation, it's by your beauty, will taste what rapture, futures, wanting your vitamin sound. Police dream, days cuffs, saturate of subcognate, just a dream in my police formations replaced prime hour cultural aliens, television Saturday, to clamp line neoliberal apparatus sections our demo forms, the opposition of anti-fascists denoted clear in hours of document, fixed electronic southeast border towns, private debit card ability assessments. Our potential in the language of totalitarian computers, domestics precarious in undercut, UK border agency enforcement in Lewisham, billboards and cinematic imperialism, abnegation of male faces in the smug, wet pell of the Shard, workday 7:11 p.m. spectral officer formations, of night hours wails fixed into and from our throats. Secure, underground stations and canteens, domestic precarious vitality sonnets, UK border agents enforcement in motion, capital fuzz investment, the English defence against Tower Hamlets, dead radio signals, news towns, negating state violence, class and migrant history, the pale arms of